Happy holidays! Before we begin, I would like to recommend everyone in the Central Florida area, whether you're local or traveling this holiday season, to visit the event Give Kids the World Village Night of a Million Lights. If you're like me and you missed the Osborne spectacle of dancing lights at Disney's Hollywood Studios, well, you're in luck because you can see the lights glisten and gleam once again at Give Kids the World Village. Give Kids the World is a non-profit resort in Kissimmee, Florida, that provides critically ill children and their families with a week-long wish vacation at no cost for kids wanting to visit the Florida theme parks as part of their wish. The event is currently running now till January 2nd of 2022. I went last year and personally I had a great time. Seeing Christmas lights is my favorite Christmas activity, and I'm planning to make my way out there again this year. The organization is still working towards being able to fully operate since its closure during this pandemic, so it's hard to predict whether this event will happen again next year. So go while you can! For more information on the event, or if you would like to learn more about Give Kids the World Village and make a donation, you can visit www.gktw.org. Once again, that's www.gktw.org.
Welcome to Review O-Meter! I'm your host, Peter. Thank you for listening into this podcast where we watch 4 random titles and rank them within one random theme. This month, our theme is Holiday Specials on Disney+. Today, we are joined by Kevin, one of our co-hosts.
Hey, what up?
Cesar, our assistant to the regional hosts.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
And we have a few other friends. Nathalie.
Hello.
Michael Shang.
Hey.
Kyra.
Always a pleasure to be here.
And introducing Chris.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Chris, you've been listening to the podcast for a while, and you would always be telling me every time you finish an episode what you like, what you didn't like, and here you are, finally on the other end of it.
All right, yeah.
Welcome aboard, sailor.
Oh, he doesn't know what he's in.
It's not.
Everything he's about to hear that normally will get cut out in this thing.
It's a fun time.
In this episode, we are introducing now to the holiday season, everything on Disney+. We have completed the Halloween season, which was a mild success. We got some new stuff. We got some familiar stuff. It was a huge success for Nathalie because she got her Twitches finally.
Woo!
Woo indeed. But now we get to start fresh again with the holidays. There's a lot of options out there. What are you guys honestly hoping to get? I kind of hope we get The Nightmare Before Christmas just to ease into the next, as a transition into the next season, but...
Oh, I totally concur. I mean, you guys can't see this, but I'm wearing our Jack Skellington sweater, you know, in between that ugly sweater phase to Halloween. So that Muppet Christmas Carol, and that would be a wonderful thing too.
Oh, yes.
So those are my top 2.
Okay, so I started thinking about it, and I kind of want a Santa Claus to, but the first one to be the one that gets chosen, because it's such a good movie. But then I also started thinking, do we have any Disney movies that are Thanksgiving based?
I'm sure there's some sort of Mickey cartoon on there. I don't believe they're on the shuffler, so most of what's on the shuffler was actually taken from last year's 2020's Christmas collection from Disney+. They're going to make another one just like how they did with Halloween this year. And obviously, as of recording, this is actually November 1st that we're recording. I know it's much later of release, but there's going to be a whole other list of new content that we're going to get to. So we're going to space out our recordings to get there, such as Hawkeye and all that. Hopefully the shuffler will give us that, but it will be included. I can potentially look and see if there's other Thanksgiving options, and I'll throw that in there. I think that'll count, especially since I'm using the word holidays rather than Christmas. Cultural appropriate, right?
Yes, so I would really like Mickey's either Once Upon a Christmas or Twice Upon a Christmas, because I would watch both of those when I was really little, so that would be good. But I'm just a fan of any Christmas holiday movie, so whatever we get, I cannot complain about it, you know?
Let's see. What's a snow globe? What the heck is that?
That's something I don't
it's like
know, honestly.
It's a glass ball that has stuff on the inside.
I know what a snow globe is.
If you shake it up.
You can usually buy them.
Freaking Caesar's showing us his office snow globe of the world's greatest boss for some reason in a snow globe with Dunder Mifflin on.
Oh.
What? You, sir, have an obsession.
That's impressive that you have that. I'll be real.
I did not know that existed, but I'm not surprised.
Wait,
I really
Caesar,
wanna
did you
see-
get it at Spencer's? Sorry, Kevin.
You're good.
My mom got it for me at her job at TJ Maxx.
Not bad.
gonna ask if she
Well,
worked
the
at
same thing.
Spencer.
you just want to see Caesar at a Spencer's. As you were saying, Kevin.
Yeah, I actually want to see the ultimate Christmas present.
The ultimate Christmas present.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Or the Nutcracker and the Four Realms. I don't know what that is. It sounds cool though.
I haven't heard great things about that. I
Even
believe that
better.
came out in 2019.
Even better. I want to watch it.
I haven't seen it. Chris.
Like Michael Shang, I am very much manifesting Muppets Christmas Carol. But if anything, just the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for the sole purpose of Santa Claus in it.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. It is on the list, so maybe we'll get the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
If possible. There's 3 movies of this franchise, but Home Alone.
Say that again.
Home Alone.
Yeah, I just keep hearing alone. I know what you're saying, but say it one more time.
Home Alone.
He's saying Home Alone, everybody. I know you can't hear it.
Oh,
Drew.
I thought he was saying like Post Malone. I'm like, oh.
Me too.
The Disney Plus holiday special of Post Malone.
Post Malone has a Christmas special now? I would definitely watch crap out of
Yeah,
that.
the special on Disney Plus.
There's gonna be that new Home Alone.
Wait, aren't they calling it like Home Alone 3 again?
It's like another.
It's Home Sweet Home Alone.
Oh,
There's
Wait,
only
really?
one Home Alone
Mhm.
3, and that has Black Widow in
it
it.
has a whole other kid too.
Yeah, she's like she's
We
a sister.
only stand Macaulay Culkin in this house.
Okay, who cares?
I can agree with that. But we might actually end up getting that movie today. Who knows? So, before we continue stepping on our own feet, I think it has come to that time for us to activate the Review-O-Meter Shuffler and see which title we will be reviewing. And it broke. Not even the spirit of the season can fix this thing. But one of you can, so Cesar and Kevin and Michael Shang, you haven't been here for a while. I think you can help out with fixing this thing.
Here we go.
Okay. Ready?
I'm thinking you guys need to buy.
Oh, all right, let's get to it, boys.
And it's
There we
fixed.
go.
There we go. Thank you all. And the winner is
What the
I hate it here.
fuck? Babes in Toyland.
Babes in Toyland. This is an oldie.
First one.
Okay.
The fact that this always happens.
Whoa,
Why
whoa,
does this
whoa,
always-
whoa, wait. This is a classic. I know most of these films are probably more rewatchable because they have the holidays tied to it, so people can actually go back every year to watch. But this is an oldie, but a classic for Walt Disney.
It's from the 80s.
This is gonna be
86.
another Bride of Boogity.
Oh, 61, even worse.
Wait. Let's not do this because we might actually end up liking this just because we don't know what it is. It's not like this is the 20s, and even the 20s we have like the originals like Miracle on 24th Street and all that. So that probably didn't come out in the 20s, but you know what I mean. Babes in Toyland. So I already have it pulled up. All
This is
roads lead to
61.
magic. What was that?
61.
Okay.
That was so
I don't know who
off,
said
yeah.
80s.
I did. My bad.
Well, you're wrong. It's
I
1961.
know.
So, all roads lead to magical Merry Toyland as Mary, Contrary, and Tom Piper prepare for their wedding. But villainous Barnaby wants Mary for himself, so he kidnaps Tom, setting off a series of comic chases, searches, and double crosses. Wow, Tom sounds like a predator.
Oh!
No,
Wait.
Barnaby is the predator.
Barnaby's the predator. Sorry.
But
I read
here's
that
the
wrong.
thing. He kidnaps Tom. Why does he just kidnap Mary instead?
Thinking like a true
Maybe he's
predator.
not into girls.
I mean, like, listen, that sounds like a lot more. There's like a lot of steps to this, and like he just need to get to the last step. Let's be real.
You know what I've noticed? The first movie always seems to be some really old movie. Like, this is a common trend.
It actually is. I've noticed that too last time.
We gotta update the batteries. I'll do that.
You know what, guys? I gotta go walk my fish.
Okay, that is true.
Yeah, my carpet needs watering. So
So
Oh,
I'm assuming none of us know anything about this movie at all, right?
nope.
No, none of us are old.
Hey, now.
61, my guy.
Careful.
61. That's so Walt Disney was alive for this movie.
I'm wondering why though it's Babes with an S in Toyland. Does he kidnap a lot of?
Well, I
Oh.
guess Tom has to be pretty freaking hot.
Oh, I'm guessing that's Tom.
I
Like-
feel like his nickname for her was Babes.
Okay, would make sense. We'll find out.
I mean, this seems kind of like
Oh, wait,
just the Toyland. I know a little bit of this Toyland theme from
It's
back
supposed
in
to be
like
like-
grade school and all that, right? It's
giving
There's
a
a
lot of
certain-
Nutcracker.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Well,
I mean, like the picture has a Nutcracker.
Yeah.
And it's probably better than Mary Poppins.
I hate you.
Damn, Kevin.
Sorry, Tyrese isn't here. I gotta make the jokes for him.
Why?
Oh,
I
man.
think he started it too.
Yeah.
Tyrese is just cruel with it.
I was listening to the Parent Trap when I make the first joke. Literally, like maybe 2 hours ago, I was listening to that. So
All right, so this is an hour and 45 minutes. Holy cow! Okay, so we gotta just jump into it, huh? Okay, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Stick around, and we'll come back with our thoughts and reviews of Babes in Toyland after these messages.
Toyland, Toyland, la 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 la.
What's your name?
Mary?
You're very beautiful, Mary.
Gee, thank you.
I'm Tom.
Nice to meet you, Tom.
Wow, you're very beautiful. You're such a babe.
Oh?
Tell me, what's a fragile thing like yourself doing all the way out here in the woods and unsupervised? Are you lost?
Well, not anymore.
We better get you back to your owner, I mean husband.
Oh, I'm not married.
Gee willikers, that's swell news. Listen, I have a cottage uphill.
Why do you have a cottage in these woods?
Well, I'm a toy maker, you see. I make lots of toys there in my cottage.
Toys?
Yes, toys. Say, are you a babe looking for some toys? Perhaps I can show you my collection.
Golly, I would like that very much, Tom.
Well, it's settled. I'll take you up my hill and we can play with all my toys. This is certainly shaking up to be a wonderful holiday. Santa's coming early this year. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, Tom, you're so funny and such a gentleman.
Babe, you have no idea how hard the toy business can be to a little gal like yourself. Okay, no, cut. I can't read this. I won't.
What's going on now?
I feel like Tom is coming off as the bad guy. It's sexist. I thought this was supposed to be a production of Babes in Toyland.
Can you just read your lines?
Read my lines? No, this is wrong. What are we recording the advertisement? Hey, turn the cameras off. I'm not doing this. No. If you're watching, please don't go see this production.
Guess what, everyone? Review-O-Meter is now on Twitter. Follow and receive alerts of when a new podcast episode is released. Participate in future activities such as polls to help us decide which streaming titles to watch in our future episodes. Follow Review-O-Meter at Review-O-Meter. That's Review-O-Meter without hyphens in the username. And we're back from watching all those babes in Toyland.
Tisn't the season. Tis not the season.
Lots of babes,
No.
all hot ones.
I'm telling you, that Tom.
Is that how we're coming back with?
Not a lot of Toyland.
Was it Christmas? Because I was only feeling the heat.
My God.
Sorry. Okay, I'm done with
Add
that.
in the but-tis later on.
You just did it for me.
Alright.
Yeah, we just watched Babes in Toyland, the 1961 version of the film, I have to say, because apparently there's 3 variations of this film. And from what I've read, people are saying it's arguably the better one. This is gonna be a fun review. I have already seen all your faces after saying that, your reaction to my comment there. I personally had fun watching this one. I understand where it's bad. I understand where they really tried, and for me, there was some lands. There were also some losses, but you know what? Let's just talk about it. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Go. Let's just interrupt each other. Go.
I'll
Yeah,
say
let's
one thing,
eliminate
the classic is old.
Interrupting.
Let's say strong start with a duck, you know? That duck coming out, very good strong start to the
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's
I would
boost.
say I was just surprised it was a tension grabber there.
Okay, so I
I will
noted
also
that.
say,
Go.
the ending was also very strong too. It didn't have a duck, but
For the intro, it was a cross between what is that place where
Whoville.
Whoville
No.
and There's no place like home. There's no
The
place
Wizard of
like
Munchkin
Oz.
Land.
Oz?
I put Munchkin Land on my
Yes,
notes.
me too.
That and
Yes, it's
Candyland.
cross between Whoville and Munchkin Land for me, like the
I see
intro.
Okay, so the first thing in my notes is literally on that goose. You say duck, but it was a goose. In the
Goose
intro, there's a goose puppet being held by an old lady who I swear just looks like the old lady from The Fox and the Hound. And this puppet is exactly like the puppet they have at Universal with the baby velociraptor. However, this woman, I think she forgets she is holding this puppet at times because she uses it as her hand. Like the goose's mouth would grab things from people and such. Like, it's not as convincing as those employees would do with their baby raptors. So honestly, yeah, Universal, your people are doing better puppeteering, acting better with puppets than this 1961 Disney film. So good job.
Go college students.
And
Fuck on.
you say the Wizard of Oz, yeah. So this set has high production value, and I say set because the whole film acts like a stage play. That's kind of the vibes it gives off. The set gives off the
Like a
same vibe,
musical.
but it is a musical though. Regardless,
Yeah.
Well, this was I think it was based on an opera.
I think
About
so.
opera in 1903. That's what it says.
Yeah, Babes in Toyland, because it has many variations. That doesn't surprise me at all. Whatever it came from, it probably was like a young children's book prior from that too. But in opera, I would believe right off
Did
the
we
bat.
figure out
I
why? Sorry, did we figure out why it was called Babe?
I don't
Maybe they
know.
forgot the eye.
There's so many questions.
That I never
Baby.
understood. I was trying.
Maybe they're
to
talking about
look
the
up-
kids.
Typo?
It could be the kids.
Maybe they're talking about the sheep that they never found.
I was thinking
Did you
that
guys
too.
notice? Did you
Yeah,
guys notice
right
that
there,
all
Michael
of the
Shang.
characters had like old nursery
Nursery
names
rhyme.
because Jack and Jill came.
I looked it up.
Goose.
It's because they live in Mother Goose Land.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What?
Plus, they got Tom, Dick, and Mary.
The Candle
Bo
Boy.
Peep.
Yeah, well, Mother Goose Land. Is this not Toyland? Well, Toyland's where they go.
Oh.
So Mother Goose Land is the Munchkin Land set then, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Like they're like Metropolis.
Oh, and then they ended up in Gotham. Yeah.
Speaking of the Wizard of Oz, Barnaby is played by Ray Bolger, the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. I thought that was fun, and I loved his character. He is such a classic villain, twirling his mustache, and
Can I tell you, he reminded me of the villain from Lazy Town.
I was thinking that too.
Or it remind me, Swiss
Meet the-
Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons.
Meet the Robinsons. Meet the Robinsons.
Oh yeah, bowler hat
Yeah.
guy.
However, there are some scenes where I'm just like,
Dude.
I feel you.
Spoiler.
Like when he was listening to all the people talking about the Bo Peep, and like, oh Bo Peep, you're fine. You're like sheep will come back. He was just rolling his eyes like these people. I was like, I feel you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people are just a little weird.
Everything is weird in this. So Annette Funicello also plays Mary. In case you don't know who that is, she is a former original Mouseketeer, and she grew to be big in the movie industry and all that.
I have a question. So, was the first 1 hour and 12 minutes, or first hour actually, just like before they even get to Toyland?
About
Yeah.
So the last 30 minutes was was the actual title.
It's because Christmas wasn't even mentioned until like an hour and 11 minutes in.
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like this was like multiple movies. It was just didn't flow well. I mean, like there are some scenes where it was just like when both Tom and Mary and the kids were looking through the toy maker's place. It was like a good 10 to 15 minutes where it was just them messing around with that big machine. You're just like, what is this? You're like,
that
oh
was
yeah, that's right. They're
fun.
looking for their sheep. But I
Who
just feel
cares
like
about
it's
the
just-
sheep? Story moved on, they moved on.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
I'm still set on these sheep. Like that was the sole purpose for them. Yeah, that's what she was singing about too. Oh, we can't make ends meet.
Hey, they need cotton to make the toys, and the sheep got lost in the woods of no returning, right? And what else is there in the woods? A factory for toys.
Trees.
And those scary trees.
And then, child labor, then they got rid of automation, so,
That wasn't child labor, that was child punishment.
That was child labor.
that was child labor. They had
This
perfectly
is-
good
they weren't
automation,
paid.
and then he broke it.
It was like they were
and the
arrested.
toy maker who takes credit when the inventions go well, but then doesn't.
Oh man, the toy maker.
Osh's origin story.
Wait, the toy maker I thought was the best. Wow, Kyra. Wow. And the toy maker I thought was the best part of this whole thing because he is played by Ed Wynn, who we have seen before in The Absent-Minded Professor. He was the fireman guy. He is also the voice of the Mad Hatter. He was Uncle Albert and Mary Poppins, and now he is in this.
This film reminded me a lot of Bride of Boogity, because I just got done listening to that episode, where
I
you
was
see
gonna mention
the
that.
bride like moments before like what feels like the credits start rolling. So, Kevin, to your point earlier, it was building up till they went to Toyland, but good God, at what cost? Like, good heavens.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. Bride of Boogity, where it was just the title at the last 12 minutes.
That's fair. Look, that's a given. I get it. I understand, like, you are sitting through a whole lot of what the hell is going on before we even get into Toyland because, goddamn, even when I read the description, I have no idea what the movie was still about, but I think I can explain it in terms. So there's this couple, Mary and Tom, who are in love, and for some reason the villain wants to marry Mary.
And the reason for why he wants to marry Mary?
I know
Because she's loaded.
Is it that? And she's
Yeah, she's
really,
super
really
rich.
young.
No.
Okay,
Which that's disturbing.
it is.
It's really odd.
Yo,
Annette Funicello with the guy who plays the Scarecrow. Yes, that is an age gap
But-
if I've ever seen one.
also, at one point he's like, "Yeah, I'm rich." Also, I'm like, "Why are you trying to marry her? If you're rich already."
Because she's young and she can have kids.
Anyways, the villain tries to kill Tom, but his henchmen decide, killing's too cruel. Let's just sell him to, pardon my words, this movie was not so productive on this term, but he sold him to the gypsies, quote unquote. What's another better word to say? You tell me, because I'm not quite sure. But anyways, he sold them to the gypsies, and...
Romani, I believe. I think that's.
But are they
Term?
the same? Because obviously these are not even the kind of characters that were in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. They're definitely just like portrayed again, not progressively.
Okay, let's go with the
no.
old school the old school portrayal of
Circus
people
nomads?
that travel, like travel and dance.
Nomads?
Nomads?
Yeah, I
I
guess.
guess nomads? Dancing nomads?
Oh,
We
I
can call
have
them
Googled
dancing
it.
nomads in this.
Can I tell you guys what it
Secret
is?
Tunnel?
What?
I have Googled it, and the correct terminology is Roma.
Roma?
Okay.
We'll just go with that, just to not say gypsies everywhere.
Yes, politically
So-
correct terminology.
Okay, thank you.
Natalie.
So keep in mind in this movie they do not use that term, but we are gonna use that term. So the Romas ended up purchasing Tom. We don't actually see that part. We just know that happens. So throughout the film,
Obtaining him?
what was that?
Oh, obtaining him?
True. Yeah, we'll use that word then. Obtaining it. Wow, we're really trying to bandage this film, aren't we? With all these different
60s, my
words?
guy.
Don't you?
Anyway,
You're using my English degree better than me, Kevin. I'll make you I'll make you a copy of it, you know?
I'm framing it.
I'll laminate it for you too. Peter,
Please.
continue.
so in the rest of the film, the villain, Barnager, what was his
Barnaby.
name again? Barnaby.
The ball hat guy.
Bowler hat guy. Barnaby.
Listen,
Barnaby wants to marry Mary, and he goes over to her place, and there's like this little strategic plan where the henchmen also knock on the door to inform her that her fiance is dead, lost at sea, and Barnaby is also in the house talking to her about other things, but then like pretends like he doesn't know who the henchmen are, and they find out like evidence and such, so he pushes Mary in the right direction of, oh, that's sad. Marry me, because why not? This is a Disney film. Marry me right away since you found out your fiance's dead. Because the guy's trying to shoot a shot when he says the door opens, so he goes right in. And from that, not too long after, the nomads, right? Norma, what did we say again?
Mads.
Roma.
Norma?
Roma.
Thank you.
Roma.
It's short for Romani. Yeah. Roma
Okay.
or Romani.
Romanis.
So the
Roma.
Romanis? Romas? I don't know what to say for plural. but-
Roma. Romy.
So they all like come to the
Romania?
town of Goose Munchkin Land, whatever you want to call that place, and they have this elaborate dance, and there's this old lady, part of that clan, going around telling everyone's fortune, and then she reveals herself to be Tom. I don't think she was Tom from the start, but I think that it was just like a little magic thing.
She was
no,
Tom
I
from
think
the
it was
start.
Tom from the start.
Because
I feel like it was
there's a
Tom.
scene in the
Tom
wagon
from
where he's
start,
putting on the
because he-
costume.
That was a
Yeah.
costume? That was
Yes.
a costume if that was a
That
costume.
was some good
Goodness,
process.
that's like the best scene I put on my notes. Best scene right
I was
there.
gonna say, yeah, that's
That was
probably the best
fun.
part of the whole movie.
Oh no, that was not the best part of the movie for me.
Costume
We're getting
change?
there.
Yes, it was probably just like how at Nightmare Fuel, a show at Halloween Horror Nights, how they changed characters. I would like to say that's probably
Okay, so
what they did.
magic, stage magic. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think though that I didn't expect that. I did not expect that to be the plan there. I thought that the witch person, I say witch, I'm sorry if that's also offensive to say for the Romas, but
Let's
it was,
go with,
it was magic. Come on.
She was a fortune teller.
Fortune teller.
Right.
She was
fortune
reading.
teller.
She was reading her palm. Remember? She was like, "I see Tom's
Ah.
initials on your finger."
Is that how is so her being Tom, is that how she knew every little detail then?
Yeah.
It was Tom from the start.
Yes.
Okay.
Was Tom
I
from
feel
the
like it
start?
was Tom. Yeah.
Anyways,
Because
yeah.
There's a scene of
So-
him in the wagon putting on the whole getup.
I didn't see
Wait.
that. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I missed that.
Tom reveals himself to the crowd. So then he and Mary get back together and go on their way. And the kids that I guess they watch because they run a daycare or something or an orphanage. Yeah, I don't know, but they have an orphanage with Jack and Jill and Bo Peep and all these other characters. And they side plot with the kids. They were trying to save Mary from marrying. God, that's alliteration.
From
They're
wedding.
Yeah, from having the wedding with Barnaby. I'm sorry if this is already a little too much to understand. Again, in the film, they do their best to explain it because they're kind of talking to you down like a little kid, like talking to the camera, saying stuff like, "Oh, that's blah blah blah. He's after the blah 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 because of the blah blah blah."
Mhm.
Yeah,
The blah blah blah.
blah 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 blah. So for whatever reason, they go off into the woods to find Bo Peep's missing sheep. That was all part of their plan to get Mary out of marrying Barnaby. And Tom goes with, and they get lost in Toyland, basically, because the trees come to life and they turn them in. And then they go to the factory to meet Edwin, the toy maker. And oh my god, this man steals the show. I didn't stop smiling at all since he was on screen. The jokes were genuinely hilarious. Okay, you're all giving me looks like, really, Peter? This is the highlight? So
I'm happy that you're
think-
happy, brother.
I think Peter
Can we
comes
get
from the
a timestamp on
1960s.
this though? At what point was this in the film that they got to the Toyland?
Please expound.
about halfway in.
Oh, it was more than halfway.
More
in.
than
It
halfway.
was
Yeah.
like literally, yeah.
It was the third act, fine.
The end of the third act, beginning of the
There we
fourth act.
After the singing trees, the creepy singing trees.
This is a forest of no return. This is a forest of no return. Those who stumble in, those who fumble in, never can get out.
Oh, those trees were like freaking. Oh my god! If I have nightmares tonight, that's gonna be why. Because those trees.
Also,
were, like, literally
I like
horrible.
how like nonchalant the kid was. Was like, yeah, we're captured by the trees. Like what? What? Like yeah, we're just captured. We can't go.
Can we just talk about how like the trees were portrayed? Like the costuming was very trash. It was for this to be like a children's movie. That was very traumatic. Like it looked like something you could find in your nightmares. Like everyone stated, it was just a lot. Like the first one that I saw, I was like, "Whoo, Halloween Horror Nights." Sorry, just Halloween. So it's a good transition.
But if you were to watch this on stage, that would actually be pretty cool effects.
I could see that. I
Yeah.
agree.
But you have to admit that this whole film is basically just a stage adaptation of a film.
Oh no, it is.
I didn't really feel like there were
Yeah.
much sets, and when it did change to different sets, it still all felt like just one giant set.
I mean, you have to think about the time frame of when this movie was created as well, because like
1961.
technology wasn't as advanced.
I gotta say, there were a lot of moments that are similar to just how those kind of Disney films were at that time, with the dance numbers going on a little too longer than they need to be. But what I still find amusing of that is just how comedic they were with the dance numbers. Like when Barnaby's dancing, not with Mary, but in front of Mary, I guess, trying to show off his moves. He's literally spitting into the fountain, hitting his head to make her laugh, make us laugh, and it's something. I can see little kids having a good time from this if you were to look away from just the difference in production because of the time frame.
I like the part where the henchmen are telling Mary about what happened to Tom, and like the one part they're in the water or the puddle, and the guy like falls through into it. And then he like what are you doing? Picks him up and it's like, oh yeah, you can walk on it.
Yeah.
The practical effects like that, and then also when they were kidnapping Tom and they hit him in the head, and then he kind of like went down to the grass area too. I'm guessing that was a practical effect and not.
I did note that part in my notes as well, because when they hit Tom on the head, Tom literally does sink halfway into the ground, and I thought that was comical. Later into the film, they find this little boy, the henchman, and they say, "Take care of this young man." And then they're ready with the mallet again. "No, don't hit him! Hit him!"
I remember that. I remember that.
He's
He's like, what are you doing? It's a kid! What are you doing? Why are you going to hit him over the head?
Just a boy.
And he still hands off a lollipop. The bottom portion of the lollipop is left behind because I guess the henchman secretly takes the top portion, the candy part.
And then ending though, that big war scene.
That final battle gave me Nutcracker vibes.
Yeah.
It gave me like Endgame vibes. That battle.
Endgame.
It reminded me a lot of like Night at the Museum, like when he shrunk everyone.
Yeah.
That's what I really thought of, and I was like, nice.
So the reason why there's toys, I thought the toys were gonna like come to life Toy Story style.
They did.
In a way.
I don't know how that happened. That's where I got confused.
A little bit of Christmas magic in this movie.
We talk about them with the sugar and spice and everything nice mixture for the green toy.
When they were making Powerpuff Girls, yeah.
Yes. Everything except for Chemical X.
Hey,
I was like,
it worked well this time.
I mean, they did give the doll blonde hair and blue eyes.
As soon as they started coming into the toy like store, that kind of just gave me Nutcracker vibes from like the rest. Like I was just like, okay, you guys are going to a hidden, and not really hidden, but like you guys know what I mean.
I don't think that's too much of a problem to say the whole sugars and spice and everything nice to make a girl, because they were making like a toy girl in that factory as a machine. What I did find a little hard to watch in these times is just the sexism. It is there. It is. Poor Mary. She sings a whole song about why math and financing is too hard for her and why she worries she won't be able to self-support herself and make ends meet.
We must save the 6%. 6 times X, how complex. Numbers always stick our brains. Why are we so dumb? This is much too hard for us. We can't do the sum.
I mean, same girl. Same.
Didn't age well.
But that's the reason why she agrees to marry Barnaby.
Wasn't she a baller?
Yeah.
No, she lost all her sheep, so she lost all her income. Did y'all not pay attention? Because she said
That's why
I
they
have
went
my
out to get the sheep,
so I
but
will
they
have
didn't
my
find the
livelihood.
sheep.
Well, they didn't.
And
Oh,
then
yeah, right. They didn't find the sheep.
Yeah, she gets home and they're like, "Yeah, the sheep's gone," and she's like, "Well, how the hell are we gonna continue on in this way?"
The sheep are never returning because it's in the woods of no return.
So
I feel bad. I don't think we finished explaining the rest of the movie.
We're jumping
I
everywhere.
don't think anyone knows what we're talking about.
I
at
like
this
we're
point.
not touching up on the actual
know.
like, title. So
This movie was
30 minutes of this movie.
This movie was
However,
everywhere,
I
so
did
we can
find because I feel like there's always this one quote from all the movies. It's "Let's pussyfoot." What in the world were they talking about?
Does that mean like tread lightly?
Was that their like
Yes,
sneaking tactic?
It was Barnaby's phrase. He said it like 10 times. I was like, what is he talking?
That actually
that a
was a
phrase in the
common thing
60s?
back in that time frame.
Okay, well,
Good to know.
Yeah, it's probably tread lightly like a cat would.
yeah, but that's okay. I'll just.
This is old speak.
Hold
Yes.
speed.
Per Oxford Dictionary, it means to act in a cautious or non-committal way.
There you go.
Nice.
But wait,
There you go.
but wait,
Cat.
but wait. Explain to me what does nut what mean? Nut what? Because remember
No,
when
not wit. Not
nut
wit.
wit. I'm sorry, nut wit. When the toy maker was calling his assistant that.
Grumio.
Romeo, yes. I tried looking it up. I couldn't find anything about it.
It just means
So-
you idiot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like nitwit or
Nutwit.
something.
Yeah.
Or dimwit.
Can we talk
With a
about
small
the
brain,
fact-
I guess.
Can we talk about the fact that Barnaby invited the Romas to come perform at his like wedding, and surprise, surprise, he ended up inviting back the person that he sent away. I just find it very ironic.
Oh,
That
that's
scene was
fine.
very
It's
ironic.
because he didn't know where the henchman, took him.
I know, but I'm saying like it's just kind of like breaking the fourth wall in a way. Well, am I
Not
saying that
really.
correctly?
No.
No. Sorry, not fourth wall, but like, what is it? There's a phrase, a terminology for theater when the audience knows something, but the person in the show doesn't know what it is.
Way. Yeah.
Because like we knew that he didn't, like the henchman didn't kill him. However, in his mind, he thought Tom was taken care of. It's kind of just like in Hercules when Hades thought that Hercules was dead or like completely human, but they forgot to give him that last drop.
The last drop, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that kind of situation in my head. That's how I saw it.
That's a good analogy for that situation, honestly, because it just gives the villain more of a reason to continue on. How he's not almost there, like he's not as close to his plan than he thought he was.
You can also chalk it up to Mother Goose Land not being a very big country and not having a lot of wandering theater groups traveling around.
That too.
Especially with a place called the Forest of No Return. That kind of just like lets you know there's already one section they can't go in.
But here's the thing: they should rename it because they did return.
Ooh.
It should be called the Forest of Sometimes Returning.
No. How about the Forest of Only Sheep Never Return?
I'm telling you, those sheep, they're teddy bears now. Those teddy bears
The
need
sheep
cotton.
was sweet.
I'm not. I know that cotton isn't from sheep, but they still need stuffing for the teddy bears.
Wool.
Wool.
Natalie, it's
There you
called dramatic irony.
Thank you. Sorry, it's been a while since I've been in theater.
No, I also had to Google, so.
Thespian.
As thespians, how do you really look at this film as like a stage production overall? If you were to see this theatrically rather than not theatrically, but I don't know if
think it
theatrically is the
would've-
right term, but for theater
Live
like,
in
performance
person
theater.
on the stage.
Yeah.
I think it would have been really cool to see on like stage just because like the set change would be really cool and like the costumes are kind of like basically what they would use on stage as well. And since like that whole portion, the what was it? Can you say that one phrase one more time for me?
Dramatic irony?
Yes, the dramatic irony because they use that a lot in plays as well. So I'd like to see it on stage. Kind of give me the Miser feels, which is also a play.
Honestly, when we got to the trees in the Forest of No Return, that's when it hit me that I can see this being remade into a actual theatrical feature film with a higher production cost, like Into the Woods, with a Christmas release date too, because why not? That's just what those theater movies always do, like Greatest Showman, Les Mis, always coming out around Christmas. I can see Disney pulling that with this one. Can you just imagine a remake to this film today, and the trees with the CGI, the progressiveness of the sexism and all that? It could be done if they actually tried, but it's a slippery slope. I think the way this movie works is because of how silly it really is and looks. But it's still full of bright colors and all that, so I still had fun. I can see how this is a Christmas film, even though they didn't start talking about Christmas until the very end.
I just want to say Die Hard is more of a Christmas film than this is.
I'll agree with that.
Yes.
It doesn't even like
Write that
touch on
down,
it.
Peter. Write that down.
The Chronicles of Narnia is more of a Christmas film than this is.
It has Santa.
This is more of a Halloween movie. Isn't this in October, he said?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Halfway in
it is.
October.
Yeah.
Because
It's more of a Halloween movie.
Uh-oh, Halloween
I guess
part
that's
2.
where the transition
Oh!
is.
So the toy maker is working
It's
on
halfway
his
to October.
toys. I guess this guy's Santa, he's not really Santa, but I guess let's say Toyland is where they make your Christmas toys rather than the North Pole. It's a whole other take on Christmas. And this
So
guy's running
Santa's
on a deadline.
Amazon.
It's Santa Amazon. Thank you.
Santa Bezos.
Santa Bezos.
Wow.
There we
Sam's
go.
Amazon.
But
Complete with
Grumio's a
child
genius.
labor.
But the toy maker's on a deadline, and he has to finish by October for all the toys to be ready to be shipped out on Christmas. And that's why he put those kids into child labor as punishment.
I mean,
for,
he broke the machine.
Yeah, I liked how his
Also-
I liked how his original plan from when we first meet him is how, oh, you know how kids usually check to make sure their toy isn't broken. Well, here's an idea. We sell them broken toys. Then this problem's solved. Genius. I laughed.
No, it was
so-
No.
What do boys usually do when they first get their toy? They take it apart to see how it works.
There you go.
They made a broken
Or
one,
it's like,
which is actually kind of
Wait.
true. I did like to take apart my toys.
or like when you take away, or like you take apart a pen and then you try to reassemble it.
Yes.
know?
I
Yeah.
didn't know those things.
But-
so.
The toy maker gave me like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. He gave me a lot of Mr. Crab vibes. Like, oh, I'm gonna give them an already broken toy. Like,
Mm.
like. I'm so sorry. That was my impression. Like, I'm so sorry. You can cut that out if you want. I don't care.
That's it.
That stays.
But he was so mean to Grumio. I told you that's Grumio's villain origin story right there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Part 2, not Babes in Toyland right there.
Days in Toyland.
There we go.
Yeah, the relationship
I'm
was
progressive now.
Yeah.
the relationship was something of an abusive relationship, but he seems to be accepting of the humility that the toy maker gives to him. I like how it pushes him to keep trying harder, even though he's making much better toys and inventions than the toy maker himself. But he's still
Yeah.
like, I understand. I'll get right on it, sir. Even though like the freaking toy maker is breaking all of his stuff, so
That
toy
first
maker
invention
is-
would have been fine.
yeah.
The toy maker is essentially Thomas Edison. He's like,
That's
that's
Oh,
fine.
Grumio is
You made that? It's mine now.
Not take credit for it.
Wow.
I mean, every time something went wrong with like an invention, Toei was like, "No, it's your fault, your assistant. It's your fault. No, it's all on you. No."
Yeah. I mean, the guy came back with the invention of, here's the great idea. We just turn any regular furniture item or whatever and just shrink it easily. This chair,
The
doll
shrink
chair.
ray.
This table, doll table now. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
just
he
a
came
shrink
up
ray.
with the pin particles right there.
He's Ant-Man, yeah. Exactly what it is.
Grumio is Hank Pym.
It's canon. The Marvel special where Hank Pym is making Santa's toys. But I still like that was the idea, and why you see the giant nutcrackers in the poster. It's because they shrink down to the size of toys. And I just thought the toys were gonna come to life and roam the place, evil robots or something. No, they just kind of turn on. There's no real magic in it. It's just like, think about a wind-up toy, but like it goes in a direction, but it goes in a specific direction to help the characters, the protagonists, defeat the antagonist. Like it runs right into the antagonist, stuff like that. So I can't really say that they're alive.
It reminded me of this short, this Mickey Mouse short of Nutcracker. I don't know if anybody remembers that. I think it was like on the House of Mouse or something, where like Mickey was it Mickey? Crap. Hold up, I lost my train of thought. Was it that? Let me look it up real quick.
I know there was one on the House of Mouse where it was Donald Duck and then the Chipmunks, the toys. Is that what you were thinking of?
Yeah, Donald Duck.
And then it like Donald Duck was like ousting out the Chipmunks, Chip and Dale from his house, but then they got the toys to help him like start a war.
Yeah,
And
something
the
like
two and the
that.
toys. Yeah.
This movie just all around was chaotic. It was all chaotic.
Last 10 minutes were a little chaotic because you literally like said on a little group chat, it went from 0 to 100 in less than like 10 seconds.
It really did.
Like, it just kind of like went really fast. Like, Tom got kidnapped, not kidnapped, but like given away, right? And then like you're like, okay, wow, this movie progressed really fast. He's already back, and suddenly all
that
these
was
other
quick.
things are happening.
Yeah.
Like, I expected that rising action. Well, sorry, not rising. I
Oh,
guess
the
that is the
action.
rising action. You know, when things are starting to like heat up. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
It kind of happened really fast because it was just like, okay, we're getting married. Mary and Tom are getting married, and then it's like, oh my gosh, Tom is dead. Oh no. And then she's just like,
Oh no,
okay,
Tom's
I'm gonna
alive.
get married. And then you're just like, oh, Tom's back. So then she's just like, yeah, I'm not marrying this sucker.
And then we got to get the sheep, and then we got to get the Toyland.
Exactly. It was just rushed and like chaotic. Just the whole thing was chaotic.
I expected it to be a much longer film without Tom, but I don't hate that Tom came back too quick because it kind of like threw my expectations out the window, which is always a good thing for movies to do. So it doesn't fall with the same trope and all that. I don't know, because even in that time of the first half of the film, as I say, like it's still comedical. Trying to see Barnaby win Mary's heart literally minutes after she finds out Tom is dead. And I just remember that one joke.
Miss Mary!
Yes, Mr. Barnaby.
Remember my offer. I'll be awaiting your decision, my dear.
She slams the door and just screams.
She's crying because her husband just died, or fiance, like, is dead.
Like,
he has
wow,
no sympathy
dude,
in
come
the
on.
world. Read the room.
You're really trying. Like, what but are you? Oh, I mentioned that. How he's like literally falling over the place, falling into the fountain. I love that.
It was so weird and funny at the same time because Mary's face was like she was the audience when she was seeing it because we were seeing it at the same time as her, and she was just like, "What the hell is going on? Like, why are you here?"
She's just politely sitting on her bench out in her yard, waiting for this creep to get off her property, but she's being kind about it, and he's literally just like throwing his feet around. Yeah, I feel that. I'm sorry, Mary.
Poor Mary.
It is a shame she doesn't have so much of the backbone to really like tell off men. You know, she unfortunately gives off the vibes that she sees men as like her.
She needs a man to do math and do the financial stuff for a house.
That's the problem. Like she sees herself as a tool. Come on, Mary, you can do better. You can be better. I'm sorry you got mind tricked into this sexist world of goose munchkin land you live in. Go live in Toyland. That looks more fun.
I don't know. He'll steal your invention.
I think a great happy ending would be if the sheep came back. That would be the greatest happy ending.
The sheep
Mary's
are
gonna have to
dead.
get married. All she needed was the sheep to come back so then she could have her livelihood and she didn't have to worry about being married, as she stated prior.
So wait, if the sheep are dead and she's now married to Tom, now dependent on Tom.
They do win. They do win.
So she has no business because this
Barnaby kicked him into poverty.
You're gonna have to go work for the toy maker.
Actually, the kids kicked them into poverty.
Yeah, it was the kids. Those
Yeah,
damn
the kids.
It was their fault.
You're not getting Christmas gifts. In fact, I hope you like child labor because you're staying in this factory.
Whole year later for Christmas.
No more Christmas for you. I don't know. I really liked how in that scene, Barnaby just basically takes what he wants and forces Mary to marry him, and he also forces the toy maker to marry. That even the toy maker is having fun.
By the power vested in you as the mayor of Toyland, proceed with the marriage ceremony. We are gathered here to witness this young lady making her first step toward unhappiness. She's gonna marry you. What? I was just trying to liven things up with a little humor. Never mind the humor. Perform the ceremony. We are gathered here to unite this man with this poor, unfortunate girl in marriage. Do you, Barnaby, take Mary to be your wedded wife? To keep her in sickness, in adversity, in poverty, in tragedy, in disaster? What are you doing? Well, I was just trying to talk you out of it. I'm warning you. Do you, Barnaby, take Mary to be your wedded wife? I do. You sure you don't want to think this over? I do not. No, I can see that you don't. Do you, Mary, take this man to be your wedded husband?
I do.
That's funny. I take him to be your grandfather. Will you stop this infernal stalling? On with it! On with it! heaven sake, such a dreadful temper. I'm glad I'm not marrying you. Oh, I am marrying you, but I'm marrying you to her. Now, where was I? You hurry up.
I thought that part was funny.
It was tricky. I love Edwin in this one. It was really zany. So
Yeah.
Props to the toy maker for managing to, I don't know how long, to hold off that marriage as Tom created an army.
an army of toys. Toy Story
We
5.
Even will conquers all.
Yeah. He kicked Barnaby off that height into a box, so maybe he's dead, maybe he's not.
He's probably not dead.
Maybe he's with the sheep.
Oh,
Maybe he's under someone's tree right now for Christmas.
I like that one.
Oh.
That's where he is.
Yeah.
And then in the end, Mary and Tom get married. They ride away in a carriage, and I guess they live quote unquote happily ever after Christmas.
Yay!
Yeah, Christmas.
Merry
Thanks for watching.
Christmas.
I think just the image of nutcrackers everywhere, and the small fact that they're making toys for children on Christmas Day. That's the only relevance to Christmas. I can't recall anything else. But Toyland is like that story is particular in that song they sing, the Toyland, Toyland. That's also Christmas. I recall that song, so.
And you do see the Nutcrackers in, correct me if I'm wrong, in the parade and Christmas parade in Disney, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
They're-
probably why, Christmas, yeah.
They're an
weren't
icon
even
there.
Nutcrackers, they were just toy soldiers.
Oh, there were toy soldiers. You're right.
They were toy soldiers, right? Yeah.
Oh, this whole time, I meant to say toy soldiers. I keep saying nutcrackers. In the Toyland scene, that was all toy soldiers, not nutcrackers. So, yeah. Oops.
However,
lovely.
I would like to say for next season, I feel that we're probably going to get jinxed again and have a
Don't
very
say it.
old movie once again.
How much there is of older films. This one was there on older films.
It'd be a Boogady's Christmas special.
Please.
Oh, is that
No!
Is that the part two we're waiting for?
No!
Please.
Tricky game started, guys.
It's gonna be Boogady's Christmas special, but Christmas will be at the end.
Merry Boogity! And a
It
Boogity
won't
New
even
Year!
take place in December, though. It'll take place in January.
There we go. Right after.
No, not even. January 30th. I'll say 30th.
A New
okay,
Year's
not
Eve
even
movie!
close.
Yay!
New Year, same boogity.
Alright. We've been talking for quite a while. I think it's time to jump into the scale and see how we rank this film. So, let's check
Wait,
out.
are we skipping something?
Nope.
No, because it's the first, unless you want to do trivia.
How dare you? How dare you forget
Uh,
about my segment?
Oh, I didn't forget.
was
I looked at
excited.
the time and I said, it has been 40 minutes of talking in the second half.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
offended, so how dare you?
I don't want to edit a 2-hour. Okay, Caesar.
Yeah.
Okay, Caesar.
All right, let's see how
Wait.
lightning fast you are, Caesar.
Yeah, we'll do a
Lightning.
lightning round.
Lightning,
McQueen.
3 questions. We're going to go in this order. I don't know if everyone has the same order on their screen, but we're going to go with Chris, me, Kevin, Kyra, Nathalie, and Shang. Is that the same order or
Yeah,
not?
it's actually the one I have. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
segment,
it is not the
sir.
same
I
order
get,
at all.
I get
No.
to choose you guys.
Can we
This is
move?
my
Oh,
segment.
that's actually the order.
Here we
I
go,
Okay,
have.
my
fine.
segment.
Fine. Tell us which order
trivia!
we're going in.
How about
Wait.
we do it in alphabetical order?
First off, everything we're saying right
Oh,
now is
God.
going to be cut. So we're going to have to do this. It's now time for C trivia.
I will. Okay, everyone, welcome to C Trivia. My friend Caesar has researched some nice questions for us during our discussion. It is going to be a lightning round. Okay, baby daddy, hit us up.
Question. Oh, after production concluded, what gift? What gift did the crew and the cast and crew give to the director? There are 4 potential answers. Did A, Slinky, B, a Jack in the Box, C, Silly Putty, or D, Play-Doh? Let's start with Chris.
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna go with Jack in the Box.
Let's go with Nathalie.
I too will go with Jack in the Box.
Shang.
So sorry, can you repeat the
This is a
options?
terrible
No.
lightning game.
Sorry. So A was Slinky. You want me to repeat the whole thing?
I don't think lightning is multiple
just
choice
the options?
though.
Okay,
Okay,
never
A-
mind. I'm just gonna say Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box with Mike. With
I started laughing when
anyway.
Caesar gave a multiple choice option.
Many options.
We tell him lightning round and he just kept...
You guys are explaining it. That's why. Kyra.
Silly putty.
Kevin.
Toy doll.
That's not an answer. That's not an option.
That wasn't one of the answers.
But it was lightning fast. Let's go.
I was gonna say the gift of Christmas.
I'm also gonna go with Jack in a Box just because I'm going with the majority's answers.
I feel like that's
Jack in the Box. The reason why was because the director's name is Jack.
Oh.
Hey, Jack in the Box. Chris, high five.
High five.
That's
High five.
On my hand.
Question 2. Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay, so the stop motion wooden soldier segment took how many months to film? Was it A, 9 months, B, 6 months, C, 5 months, or D, 8 months? Dang.
Whoa, we're going out of order here. I'm gonna say, let's do 6 months.
Kevin.
I'm gonna say D. Whatever that was. Lightning fast.
8 months, okay. Kyra.
9.
Chris.
I'll go with 8.
Natalie.
I'm gonna go with 6 months.
And Peter.
I'm also going with 8 because it's the second to longest.
Oh, Ali and Shang. You guys are right. 6 months.
Okay, question number 3.
Last and final question, number 3. True or false? Oh, this was the only Disney-produced film based on a hit Broadway stage musical and the first Disney musical using mostly songs which had never been completely written in the film. True or false?
Well, that's specific.
So let's go with Kevin.
True. Lightning fast, baby.
False.
Lightning fast, come on.
Chris.
Faster. Faster now.
False, I said it.
You said Chris?
True.
Peter.
My answer has that T with the F thing that you write on your homework.
Both. Yeah. That's what I said.
Kyra.
True.
And last but surely not least, Shang.
Only stage production? No, because Mary Poppins was, so I'm gonna say false.
That's what my reasoning was.
Mary Poppins was a stage production.
Long after the movie.
Wait, before or after? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the question.
Too late. We're going lightning fast. Ka-chow, go. What's your
I think he said based on.
Ciao.
Said based on, yes. It say based on. Oh, Kevin, Chris, Kyra, unfortunately, you guys are right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was true?
It was true, yes, it was true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lightning fast.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get to the scale.
All right.
That has
time for
been
chosen annoying.
Steve.
No, I'm kidding.
Trivia! Kevin, you should do a segment.
No, I'm kidding. I don't have a segment.
Ah.
I'll come up with something next week. Don't worry.
Yes.
Here's a segment.
Come
How
up with a
Christmas
segment,
is it?
please. Ooh, well done, Cesar. Well done. And now, yeah, as Kyra said, it's time to move on to that scale. The scale is a ranking of where we rank each of the films that we have watched in this theme on an order from our least favorite to our most favorites. However, this is the only movie we've seen within this theme as of yet, so we're gonna go with the traditional 1 out of 10 ranking. So, going around the room, we're gonna give that number for how we feel, and we're gonna talk a little bit on why. So, answer with detail, please. Who wants to go first? We're gonna go with Michael Shang.
Thank you. I am going to put this at a 4. And I'm doing that because I think it was just very prolonged, and so like the story, the sheep, they didn't. But there's besides that, there were a lot of plot points where it just didn't flow very well. And then there were, but it's right underneath the halfway mark, so some good things like the practical effects were really good. And then some of the acting, dancing, the singing, I think it flowed well. But again, the storyline wasn't there, and there were some other issues, so I'm putting it at 4.
Natalie.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5, just because it was very chaotic, and however I did like the cute little songs, and like there were cute little moments like with the pie scene. I did think it was cool. I thought the pie was gonna fall on everyone, but one of them got caught, and I just don't want to be mean to it, but it's not really a Christmas movie in my opinion, so that's why it's getting a 5.
Kyra.
I will give it a 3 because it just stretched out so long. It was a cute little film, don't get me wrong, but because it stretched out so long, it lost my interest very, very early on, that it was hard to keep up with the plot because I just wanted it to be like, when's the next moment, you know? So for those reasons, I will be giving it a 3.
Evan.
Let's see. Since Tyrese isn't here, it's better than Mary Poppins,
Not as good as Life is Rough.
but not as good as Life is Rough.
Wow, it's just the spirit of Tyrese is around us, haunting us.
It's only because I listened to
The
Parent
Tyrese
Trap.
of
No,
Christmas, past, present, and future, just whispering, life is rough.
There you go. No, I'm gonna give this one like a solid 2. Actually, no, it's me. 3. Solid 3. It was very good, stage production and everything, but that story was pretty bad. It's not a Christmas movie. Again, Die Hard is more of a Christmas movie than this is. So that's where I'm standing, baby.
Chris.
I don't like this movie. It reminds me. I'm not much of a fan of movies in this style where they have I'm not. It's like the dance numbers really that really helped drag this movie out and just pad out its runtime. And it's also 2 stories with a little middle spread of trees in the middle. But it's also not a Christmas movie, as everyone's been saying, even though it's marketed as a Christmas. But it's not entertaining. The only saving grace for this movie is the final battle because of how nuts they went. But I'm gonna give it a good old 2.
Caesar.
Oh, they're hearing everyone's thoughts because I went first towards the end of the movie. I was like, this could be a 5. After this whole discussion, I was like, it's a 4. It's a 4 because it did drag on a little bit. You only get Christmas literally 20 minutes towards the end of the movie, and the singing every 20 seconds didn't really help. It's kind of got annoying to a certain point. But one thing that I liked about this movie was music was good. And the henchmen, they had their moments, they had their funny moments, so that was also cool, but it's a 4 in my book.
Alright, so I, again, had fun watching this film. I understand the story can be complex to explain, but the characters do their best to explain what's going on for the younger audience, and it's not distracting. Some dance moments hold on longer than it needs to, but they're comical. I enjoy them. Half of the film is so zany it's fun, mostly thanks to Ed Wynn, but the other half still falls in the it's so bad it's good trope. But again, overall, it's not just that, because I did genuinely laugh at the jokes, at the characters, and I still admired the production, the design and all the colors. Comparing this to other Christmas specials, I'll have to give it a 5 out of 10. I can understand why people would both love or hate this film. Me personally, I sit in the middle if I have to compare it to other holiday specials. I have seen worse. I'm not so much fans of a good portion of those claymation Christmas specials. Minus Rudolph. But I can rewatch this. I saw the Walt Disney charm in this. So I just have to give it that 5. Maybe that's being a little too nice. I kind of thought maybe a 4 as well, just let it sit under the halfway mark like you said, Shang, but I'm going to stick to my gut. I'm going to go with 5. And that makes the average a 3.8.
Quick maths.
I can do better math than Mary.
Oh.
Whoa.
Mary
Blow there, buddy.
That was kind of mean.
She sings a whole
As a
song about why
woman,
she
I
sucks
am
at math.
offended.
She sings a song. She literally said, I guess I have to marry Barnaby because I can't finance my finances.
All of us are good at finances, Peter.
You might be thinking that I'm saying, oh yeah, she's stressing about living and is worrying about how to take care of her money. No, in her song, she is literally saying how numbers are hard for her and that she can't really calculating how to finance her money. So that's already a big... that's a problem for the film, not for Mary. It's the film who needs to do better. But other than that, I look aside and I still give it what I rate it because I still had fun.
Peter, on that note, you also had another comment that you needed to say before the end of
Yes.
So, what was that?
So, right after we ended recording the first half before going to commercial break, I forgot to do something that I had planned. So, in the spirit of the season, I got you all some Christmas presents.
God.
Aww.
You're a good egg.
Ooh, what is it?
You really? You're gonna be a cat.
We all got fruitcake.
Swear.
Bring us some figgy pudding.
We all got toys that were already
Please
broken.
bring us some figgy. Oh God.
So,
bring us some figgy
Yeah,
pudding.
you found the sheep, and that's what it is.
I wanted to save it. So I wanted to save it for the end of the recording because I still wanted us to give the honest review of this film. And I'm sure if I've introduced this right away, we probably wouldn't have watched this film because you all are all getting reshuffle cards.
What?
What the fuck?
Why'd you introduce it at the end, Peter?
Dude, I
Shuffle card.
I would have Uno reversed real quick, dude.
That's exactly what this is.
I would have thrown a reshuffle
I
right in
want to use
there.
it right now.
So, you only get one.
I have a
and-
question.
Yeah.
So, say we get like Babes in Toyland and I announce it. If I don't want to watch it, can I reshuffle? But then I already used my thing, like it's up.
It's done. You lose it.
And then, but then
We
do
have
we
to watch
strike out
whatever we
Babes?
do.
Then
No.
would we strike out Babes in Toyland?
Nope, we just don't watch it for that day.
Got you.
So we
That's
could come
awful.
back?
We could come
I
back.
have a question.
So it's karma because it will come back to us. Got it.
And you don't know what you're gonna
And
get
Kyra's
next.
writing a note
Toyland
on that.
again.
You don't
Can
know.
I ask something?
Hold on. You don't know what you're gonna get next. Go ahead, Natalie.
Is this only for the month of November, or does this also fall into December? Like, are we gonna get more in December?
This is a
In
permanent
December.
gift. But I'm not saying you'll ever get it again. Honestly, even if I think about doing this again next Christmas, I would probably think of doing something different, another creative item. So this is probably
Match my
permanent.
401k
So use
next
it
year.
wisely.
Yeah, permanent.
All I
For
gotta
next-
say is, as a co-host, and when it's my birthday, I better get another one.
Oh, yes. Where's mine? My birthday just passed.
These are your season your way.
This is
No,
a one-time
skip
use
your way.
get out of jail free card.
Okay. Also, another question: is it only for those that are here for the first episode of Christmas, or is it for everyone?
What does it say?
All right. Yeah, I'm giving it to everyone who's been on the
Okay.
show as of yet.
Okay, I don't know. I just want to make sure.
Anyone who's being
Yeah.
introduced won't get these. Not for
Oh,
this
I made it
Christmas
just
season, at
in
least.
time.
Was it say
You made it just in time, Chris.
Chris, you really made it. Oh my god.
Damn.
How about Peter? How about you do it just like Disney reservations? Depending on how long your membership has been here, you get
Are you
more.
really gonna do that to Chris?
You can do if like you've been here for like episodes. You can be like, oh,
Bro, I'm just gonna
guest
do the
choice.
fast pass. How much money
Seniority.
you want?
I'm gonna take my reshuffle card, put it in my pocket. Keep it right there for now, I'll lock it in a safe.
Use it wisely. If you want to use this on, let's say, another absent-minded professor, you might miss out on a good film, and you might end up getting something worse.
Oh, I could tell you on this list what I could probably use it on. America's Fun. Actually, no, I like that. Let's see.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Can you share your screen?
No. Well, I'm on my phone and my computer, so.
I know
Frozen
the
Shorts. I would definitely use it on Frozen Shorts.
that would be so easy to watch, though. That's a
yeah,
dumb move,
no.
in my opinion. Because like
Christmas
you're gonna
Ju-
use these so quick that you're just gonna
Disney
regret it.
Junior? Yes.
All the reshuffle cards are gonna be gone by next year.
Just because I can. Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Yes.
I can already
What?
see. Wow, that's
dare.
no.
I
I'd be
will
mad.
fight you.
I'd be really.
I will
I'd
be
really be
mad
mad if you
too.
reshuffle.
I know.
Can I have a reshuffle override?
Peter's like, I gotta activate my veto.
Well, if you were to say I would like to use my shuffle card now, let's say we were doing guest choice and it landed on someone's name, you could do that. So that's an override.
Wait. What if it's guest
Whoa,
choice,
whoa.
right? And you already had your pick? Could you override it?
I mean, once in the guest choice theme,
Oh,
you
I
go
pick
away
again.
if you get chosen.
Oh, okay. So we go to a different person.
So if we actually end up watching the movie you picked, you go away. But if someone reshuffles on you when you get picked, you'll go back in the system.
Interesting.
Rude.
Well, if it's like
It's gonna be rude. It's gonna be
reshuffle and it like happens to the same thing again.
We're gonna make
Unfortunate.
enemies out of each other. Break some friendships. But again, I advise you, use these cards wisely. I'm sure there's gonna come a time where 3 people at once strategically reshuffle in a row, and you lose it. You lose it forever.
I put in a thing of an idea for a new segment of how Christmas is it.
Oh,
Love it.
Kevin, that's your segment.
Thumbs-upped
Kevin,
it.
right there.
I mean, that's
Right
Chris'
there.
segment because he just made it.
Oh, Chris, go, yo!
I like
What?
that. How Christmas is it? Yeah, we can do that next time. You gotta join next
Oh,
time,
we should have
Chris.
started that with like Halloween too, because it would have been like
How spooky is it?
how spooky is it? How
Ah,
Christmas
I
is
love
it?
that.
Yeah.
Well, we can do it for the next.
Yeah.
Kyra,
I think we can all agree.
I
This
think
is
I'm going to head out.
Yep, I'm about to end this. So, I think we can all agree that this was not so Christmassy, but it was just barely Christmas. All right. So, who has anything to plug? Chris,
This lamp, I unplugged it. Now I'm in the darkness.
you plugged
I'm
your
outta here.
lamp. Thank you,
Good.
Kevin.
Nothing. But as usual, it's an honor to be here. Tell your friends and families to listen, not watch.
Kyra.
One day.
Same as Kevin, it's always a pleasure to be here. I know I had to miss out on a few episodes, but thank you always for the invitation. I love this. I love being with you guys. So be well, stay safe, happy holidays.
Natalie.
We should have watched the Santa Claus.
We
However,
had to
thank you
reshuffle
for having me.
Reshuffle.
Shuffle. There.
Wait, cut that out.
I apologize. I think that this was a great movie, and thank you guys for having me on the show. Love it here.
She sounds like she's
Sounds so enthusiastic.
That's not enthusiastic at all. This is not a great movie.
Michael Shang.
Thank you so much for the invite again. As they did say, both Kyra and Kevin both said. I know I haven't been here for a little bit, but thank you again for the invite. No, it was a fun time. Even though maybe not the most fun, but as a group, it was fun being with you guys and talking about it. And yeah. Everyone listen, there's different areas you can watch. I'm going to miss one, of course, but you can do it at least on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, I think, possibly, and maybe some other
Apple
place.
Podcast.
Oh, and then there's on Peter's YouTube, which he'll probably plug in, but the pre-plug-in right here.
And that YouTube is at PJM Entertainment, my YouTube channel, where I also upload those podcast episodes. Thank you, Shang, for giving that round. It's nice to hear you say that. It's glad to have you back once again. And to all of you as well, thank you for joining on this episode. I don't think there's anything else I really need to plug. I have an Instagram, personal Instagram, at EwalkPeter, if you would like to give that a look. Cesar, can you tell everyone where they can listen to this podcast? Other than what Shang already said.
My job.
Shang,
You already did half my job already. So
but is he missing? So he said Apple, Spotify.
He said Apple, he said Spotify, and third one, Google Podcasts.
There you go.
Shang.
Okay.
Oh, and we also have a Twitter, so that is at Reviewometer, without the hyphens. Yeah, follow us there. And on that note, thank you for listening to this podcast where we just reviewed Babes in Toyland, part of our holiday specials on Disney Plus theme. Join us next time where we watch our second of 4 titles in this theme here at Reviewometer!